And our last book, Super Communicators by Charles Duhigg. You know, when you're having a conversation, it's really good. You're looking at somebody in the eye, you're laughing, you're finding things in common, you're learning about them, you're making decisions. You feel really good, and you leave that conversation and you say, how do I have a conversation like that again? That's what this book is about. How do you have connection moments like that again and again and again? Because there's a science behind it. And there are really two keys here. Key number one is figuring out the kind of conversation you're having. Am I having a conversation to help me make a decision? Am I having a conversation to understand who we are in the world? Or am I having a conversation about my feelings? Those are really the three conversations. Figure that out. Well, how do you figure that out? Well, when you get into a conversation, you begin to ask open-ended questions, and you begin to share your answers to those questions as well. So you're talking with someone, you're trying to figure out what kind of conversation it is, you're at work, that person's talking about, a product change. Begin to talk about the product, explore that a little bit more. And then what you find out a little later on is really the product change leads to some sort of fear that my compensation is going to change. And now we're talking about something totally different. We're not making a decision about a product. We're talking about how we feel about our job. But you wouldn't know unless you started asking questions about, tell me another time when a product changed, or what would you do about this change, or how would you organize that change? And when you do that, what you start realizing is that every conversation is loaded with all of their experience and all of their opinions and all of their time and all of the people they know and the multitudes of information that they know in their entire life. And it's like everybody contains multitudes. And so every conversation you have needs to be sensitive to this notion the conversation you think you're having may be a little bit different than the conversation that person wants to have. And let's connect in a way to understand that and be open enough to understand that your personal experience, your wife's experience, your job on Capitol Hill, whatever it is part of your conversation at some level. And that's what we mean by everyone contains multitudes. And that drives super communication.